So in the comments, I see that a lot of people were asking me, "Hey, where would you buy your gear from?" And I mean, other than me being a dealer and getting it for myself, uh, if someone is looking to call a dealer and talk to them and go through things and go through a package and get a great price and know that it's going to be taken care of, there's I was thinking off the top of my head, there's three guys, three dealerships that I trust, and I would consider them good friends of mine. Every time I call them, we talk for a while about the industry and just talk about family things too. So the one is Spunky, and he used to be down in Dallas, Texas, and now he's moved his operation into I think it's Santa Fe, Arizona, and he's a one man operation. He worked for Brooke Mays for years, like 20 some years. And I met Spunky when we went to Ensoniq training because Ensoniq wanted people, salespeople, to go to training for their keyboards. And that's where we met. We've been good friends ever since. He has a company called The Audio Dog, and I'll put the link in the description. And like I said, he's a one man operation. You can call him. He's mostly dealing with new gear, but great thing about him is he wants to make sure you have a good experience. He wants to make sure you get a good price. He follows up to make sure everything is right. So he's the first guy. Second guy is Odyssey Pro Sound, and that's Paul Savasta, and another great guy. Paul is based out of the he's in Salem, Massachusetts, so outside of Boston, and he's a one man operation. He deals with a lot of new gear, but his forte is the vintage used gear, and he finds a lot of that, and a lot of people get in touch with him to sell gear for him, and he makes sure everything is in great shape. And when you're dealing with big console sales, you just want to make sure the console's in great shape and know the history of it. And he'll find out all that stuff. But also you want to make sure it's packed up properly, it's shipped to you properly, it gets to you, in great shape. And that's one thing he does, because there's a lot of these dealers that are broker kind of guys that they just take your money, and after the fact, you don't know what's going on. And Paul Savasta, I would trust with all that stuff. But he also, like I said, has all new gear. You can go to his website too, Odyssey Pro Sound. And then the third guy is Rick Scott, and Rick is I think he's owner, but I think he has partners. Parson Audio, they're in Boston. And again, when I talk to Rick, we talk for a long time about the industry and that. But he's more of a full-time new gear dealer, and he deals with big PA systems and industrial installations. But his heart is pro audio stuff. And being up in the Boston area, he knows the Genelec guys, he knows the Lexicon guys, he knows all in that Boston area. There's a lot of pro audio companies, and he knows all of them. So he's great. I went to visit him one time at his place, and I think he's moved since then. But his showroom, it was small, but it had a ton of gear in there. And I said this in one of my other videos. Running lean and mean is the thing to do. Not having a huge amount of inventory and overhead. And all three of these guys, they run that way. So if you're looking for gear, I'm not making any money from any of this stuff. It's just that people keep asking me. Here, start off with these three. I know a ton of dealers, but these three are the ones that come to mind immediately. There's a bunch of other dealers. There's a bunch of other dealers that I would never have anything to do with it, and I'd like to keep everything positive, but there's some that you just have to be super, super careful with. But call these guys, see how you like them, and see what kind of deals they can cut for you. I hope you find this helpful. Okay,